Yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Welcome. It's wonderful to see you. You know, this week, if you've been reading the headlines and heard about some tragic moments in the life of our country this week with some individual losses, and you think about how precious life is, and you think about how when we look at someone from the outside, we don't know what's happening inside. We don't know what they might be going through. And when we come together as a community like this, on a week like this, we can think about what it means to reach out to others and to reach out with open arms and with open hearts. And so I really want you to look around the room and make a point at the end of our service to say hello and maybe introduce yourself to someone who is new to the community or maybe just new to you. And if you see someone who maybe looks like they could use a warm word of welcome or maybe a friendly hug, reach out to them because, thank you, Cantor. Because sometimes we've had a week and we need a little friendship. And that's part of why we're here as a community. And we make that happen when we welcome each other into one another's lives, into one another's hearts. Let's welcome the Sabbath with Shalom Aleichem. We can find that on page 24. Join with us.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bo'achem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bo'achem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bo'achem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom,
מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא
Sabbath, may its radiance illumine our hearts as we kindle these candles for Sabbath. May the warmth of their glow peace impart. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. May God bless you with Sabbath joy. May God bless you with Sabbath holiness. May God bless you with Sabbath peace.
Thank you. Continue on, you can be seated. We're going to continue on page 20. Lecha Dodi, we welcome the Sabbath bride.
לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלך כי מקור הברכה מראש מקרב נסוכה סוף מעשה המחשבה דחילה לך דודי לקראת בשמחה ובצלם, טוב אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלב, בואי חלב, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Page 28. Baruch Hu is called the call to worship. What does it mean to be called to worship? It means to be present. It means to be present with an open heart, an open mind, a gracious spirit. It means to be ready, to be inspired. It means to bring, most importantly, ourselves to this moment and allow our hearts to be touched by the presence of each other and by the words and the music of our tradition. Baruch Hu.
Lai, 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 lai. מעביר יום ומהביא לילה, מבדיל בין יום ובהי לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני. המעריב הרבים.
Page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your words and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Havta, Torah u'mitzvot. תורתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be on your heart, shall be on your heart, and you shall love Adonai your God with
And these words which I command you this day
shall be on your heart,
shall be on your heart,
shall be on your heart,
shall be on your heart, V'shinantam levanecha,
and you shall teach them to your children,
v'dibarta b'ham,
and you shall speak of them
b'shivtecha b'veitecha,
when you are at home
u'v'lechtecha v'derech,
and when you are away,
u'v'shachbecha u'v'kumecha,
when you lie down and when you rise up.
וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be on your heart,
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 your
heart. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
Lord our God.
Adonai
Oy, too cute, right? If you sat in traffic on your way up here and you just cursed the roads, when you heard that, it all just melted away, right? Could you do that again?
Oh, anytime.
Page 41. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Page 42.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom vehamidenu
טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך, למען שמך, ויהגן בעדנו, ויעשר מעלינו, אויב דבר וחרב רע ויגון, וחרב ורב ורב ויגון, ויעשה שטן מלפנינו, מלפנינו ומאחרינו,
ובצל כנפיך
תסתירנו, כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה, כי אל מלך חנון ורחום, חנון ורחום אתה.
חנון ורחום
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם, ופרס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני
וברוך שמו.
הפורס סוכת שלום, סוכת שלום עלינו, הפורס סוכת שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
Our next prayer is a prayer of healing. And the loved ones in our lives might need prayers of strength or prayers of courage, maybe just prayers of patience. You can't find this one in your prayer books. Most of us probably don't even know the words. But this isn't a prayer of the mind. It's a prayer of the heart. So let's pour forth our hearts as we pray for those in need of healing tonight.
Refainu Adonai v'nerafe, Hoshienu
We now have some moments for our own personal prayer. You can find our Amidah beginning on page 48 and proceeding until page 62. For those of you who are new to this prayer book, the traditional prayers, as well as a translation and transliteration, can be found on the even pages, while on the odd pages you can find poems that are inspired by the traditional liturgy. We invite you to please stand and offer your silent prayer at this time. When you're finished, please feel free to be seated. We invite those of you who are still praying to continue your prayer. For the rest of us, I invite you to please join me in a prayer for our country at the bottom of page 258. Guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Sur Yisrael, Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Sur Yisrael, Goalo.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise and defend, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael v'Goalo. V'nomar, v'nomar, Amen.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. I'm really thrilled this evening to be able to be part of a celebration that honors two of our teachers, two of our beloved rabbis. We're honoring our founding rabbi, Rabbi Isaiah Zeldin, whom we lost earlier this year, but whose presence is felt on this campus and throughout our city each and every day. The Rabbi Isaiah Zeldin Rabbinic Chair honors his memory by providing resources that will support the work of the chair's occupant and further the mission of our temple as we make meaning and change the world together. We celebrate Shai's Torah, his legacy, the things he cared most about when we support this institution, our schools, our temple, and everything that we strive for. But we're also going to honor our friend, our colleague, our teacher, and our rabbi this evening, David Woznica. In some ways, of course, Rabbi Woznica needs no introduction to this community. We know him well, and we love him deeply. He has been here with us for 14 years. We've studied Torah with him. We've been inspired by his sermons. He has stood with us for baby namings and for weddings and for B'nai Mitzvah celebrations. And he has supported us through illnesses and through bereavement. And we've come to know his family as well. His wife, Beverly, his sons, Josh and Daniel, his mother, Sue. He was instrumental, of course, in creating our Center for Jewish Life. And we've been enlightened by his many courses and lectures, and especially his dialogues. He gives a great interview. David also brought the Melton program to Stephen Wise, and through his leadership, along with his colleague and partner, Rabbi Karen Strock, and now Karen Goldenstein, this program has really flourished and touched the lives of hundreds and hundreds of community members. And if you have studied in the Melton program or are currently, I know we just finished this year, but if you're an ongoing member of Melton, can you just raise your hand up high? Keep it up high with pride, because if your hand's not up, what's wrong with you? Talk to these people. It's an unbelievable program. They'll tell you how extraordinary it is. You know him well, but there are a few fun facts about David Woznica that you might not know. First of all, he has two siblings. His sister, Dr. Janet Woznica, who I think is here this evening. Janet's not here, but his brother is here, Michael. And David grew up like another guy that you might know in North Hollywood. Not North Hollywood, but just North Hollywood. And David's father, Sam Woznica, blessed memory, owned and operated Sam's Arco, a service station in Studio City. Some of you might have visited. He was the operator of that establishment for 27 years. And Rabbi Woznica knows a lot of Talmud, but he's one of the few rabbis I know who also understands carburetors and what they do, and he can change his own oil, which I think is pretty amazing. You might not know this, David came from a mixed marriage. His father's family is from Poland. His mother's family is from the Isle of Rhodes. So it was an Ashkenazi Sephardic mix. David grew up right down the street from Adat Ariel, where he celebrated becoming bar mitzvah. And it was important to David's mom and dad that he would continue through confirmation. And David, I did a little research. I talked to some of your former teachers, and apparently there were some missing assignments some outstanding assignments and many absences. But it was really important to Sue and Sam that he be confirmed, and so they made a deal with his parents. They said if David signs up for the next year's class called the seminar, they would confirm him conditionally. And as luck would have it, his teacher in the seminar was extraordinary. One of the greatest teacher in the world. I think you know who I'm talking about. An inspiring figure who hates it when you say nice things about him. David's teacher in the seminar program was none other than Cantor Nathan Lamb. And I've heard from each of them about the other, and I'm happy to share with you later what that experience was like. One more fun fact, Rabbi Woznica visited Stephen Wise Temple when he was in his final year of rabbinical school as a scholar in residence. He came here and he taught, and at the end of the weekend, Rabbi Zeldin invited David to join Wise as a member of the clergy team, and that was in 1990. But the timing wasn't right. They were in New York. David and Beverly ended up staying there for another 14 years or so. David worked at the 92nd Street Y, where he was the founding director of the Bronfman Center for Jewish Life. And their loss was our gain when Rabbi Hersher invited David to come join Stephen Wise in 2004. We know him, we love him, and we're proud to call him our friend and our rabbi. And it is now my honor, on behalf of Stephen Wise Temple, to formally install Rabbi Woznica as the inaugural occupant of the Rabbi Isaiah Zeldin Rabbinic Chair and invite him to share with us words of Torah. David, please.
Thank you, Rabbi Yoshi. I'm touched. I'm not delighted about the sharing of my past, but the reality is that it's all true. Everything is true, and I still owe a paper for seminar, apparently, at a .rel, but don't worry, I'll get it in eventually. Rabbi Zeldin was a great, great teacher of Jewish texts, so I thought tonight what would be more fitting than to share a text that I really love. It's from Pirkei Avot, which is a Mishnah, part of the Talmud, which means it goes back somewhere between 1,800 and 2,100 years ago. And the more I studied this text, the more I came to realize why I thought it was particularly appropriate for tonight. I'll share why a little bit later. In this text, Shimon ben Zoma raises 4 questions and offers 4 responses. I like his questions. I love his responses. The first question that he asks is, Ezehu Chacham, who is wise? And at first blush, we might respond, someone with a lot of wisdom. Ben Zoma's response is, one who can learn from others. It shows the importance of intellectual curiosity and especially being open to others whose views we may not particularly share. If we want to learn from others, if we're serious about it, then it's important to engage with people who have differing religious views, differing political views. It's important to read things that differ with us. So, for example, if you read the Wall Street Journal editorial page, which is more conservative, leans to the right, it's important also to read the New York Times editorial page, which leans differently. And similarly, if you only read the New York Times editorial page, I invite you to also read the Wall Street Journal editorial pages, because how often do we read journals or speak to those or watch television that doesn't necessarily reinforce our views? In addition to learning from others in that regard, as Jews, we should learn from our most sacred text, the Torah. And when we learn something from the Torah that may challenge our thinking, don't dismiss it. Delight in it. In fact, it may make you rethink your ideals. You know, Jews often say how much they love Torah, right? We all say we love Torah, we embrace Torah. But the rubber meets the road when you learn something in the Torah that seems to go against our thinking. So rather than dismiss our holiest book that's been around for 3,200 years, my suggestion is to grapple with it. Is the Torah always right? Well, I'll leave that for you to ponder. But what I think is right is to appreciate there's great wisdom in our tradition that may transcend our contemporary thinking. And that's a beautiful way to understand Shimon ben Zoma's understanding of wisdom, one who learns from others. His second question, Ezehu Gibor, who is strong, to which he replies, one who can say no to himself, and I would add to herself as well, of course. He's teaching here about the importance of self-control, because self-control makes for both a better human being and it makes for a better society. How often do we hear the phrase, just follow your hearts? But it turns out, even ironically, in this week's Torah portion, Shlach, it teaches us exactly the opposite. It reminds us, indeed it implores us, not to follow our hearts or our eyes because it will lead us astray. It's not always good to follow our impulses. Take one example, anger. If you showed anger to your boss every time you felt it, you've probably had a lot of jobs in the last few years. And the same thing is true with anger in your home. There's a time for it and a time to curb it. And learning to say no to too much chocolate is probably in your favor as well. Having self-control will lead you to a happier life. In fact, I dare say I don't know anybody who lacks self-control who I think is happy. That's why Shimon ben Zoma teaches us who is strong, the person who can say no to themselves, who has great self-control. It's a great, great lesson for us, for our children, and for our grandchildren. And the third question, Ezehu Ashir, who is rich? To which ben Zoma responds, one who is happy with his lot. One who is happy with his lot. It's natural to think of rich in terms of finances, and yet there's a good chance you know someone who you may consider to be financially rich, but aren't happy with what they have. Being content with one's lot is a key to happiness because it's a caution against envy. It is absolutely natural for us to see someone else who has a great car or a great home or a loving relationship with their spouse, and we might conclude, gee, I envy them, I wish I was in their shoes. Yet there's a very good chance you don't know all the aspects of their lives. They may be facing a health issue, or perhaps they have a great job but struggle in their marriage, or have a poor relationship with their children. If we knew the entirety of another person's life, there's a good chance we wouldn't want to switch places with them. Just read the biographies of Hollywood stars or other people with great fame and great fortune. Many of them face a lot of sadness. If you're prone to envy, this is something that may be very helpful. It's okay to desire a certain aspect of another person's life without wishing to be them. And don't forget, applaud your own successes. Maybe you don't live in the neighborhood that you most prefer, but you raised your children to be good people, or to have faith in God, or to embrace and celebrate their Judaism. That should be an extraordinary source of joy and make you very happy with your lot. One other thought. Being happy with your lot doesn't mean you can't want for more in life. Doesn't mean you have to be complacent. Those desires for a better job, a nicer home, better relationships, to be a more decent human being, those desires often compel us to get ahead. The key is to be happy with what you have and who you are and still reach forward. And those who achieve that balance are very rich indeed. And finally, the fourth question, Ezehu Mechubad, who is honored? To which Ben Zoma replies, those who honor others. The Hebrew word for honor is kavod, but kavod also means heavy, because showing honor can sometimes be onerous. It means we have to focus on the other, while it's natural to focus on ourselves. Shimon ben Zoma is teaching us the importance of celebrating the achievements of other human beings. We're all aware of the commandment to honor our parents, but there's also a commandment to honor wisdom and to show honor to the aged. And there's a teaching that we should honor our teachers. I was taking a tour of an Orthodox day school with a headmaster not too long ago, and as we walked into every room, all the young children stood to show honor to him. There was something very beautiful about that. 4 questions and 4 answers from Ben Zoma. Earlier, I shared with you why I found this text, the more I studied it, to be particularly appropriate for this evening. Let me share with you why. Because as I reflected on each of Ben Zoma's responses, it struck me how Rabbi Isaiah Zeldin embodied every single one of them. Ezehu Chacham, who is wise, one who can learn from others. There were few who did this more beautifully than Rabbi Zeldin. I remember asking him regularly, "What do you read, Rabbi Zeldin? What do you read?" And he always said to me, "Every week, I read the Torah portion." His intellectual curiosity, his desire to learn from others and from the Torah was unending. Ezehu Gibur, who was strong, one who can say no to himself, in other words, who had self-control. Rabbi Zeldin, in my experiences, exuded self-control in his personal life and in his drive. I remember Beverly and I were out to dinner. I'm certain you'll remember this, at a restaurant with Rabbi and Mrs. Zeldin, Florence Zeldin, both now of blessed memory. The restaurant was called Tiramisu. It was on Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks. It's not there now. At the end of a beautiful meal together, we ordered dessert, and he wasn't eating any. So I turned to him and I said, "Shai," I always insisted on first name, but "Shai, no dessert for you this evening?" He said, "David, tomorrow morning I'm seeing my cardiologist and I'm having a blood test and I want my cholesterol to be as low as possible." Ezehu Ashir, who is rich, one who is happy with his lot, to which I added, "You can be happy with your lot and still strive for more." That was Rabbi Zeldin. He was a man of contentment, with great pride in which he achieved, yet he never stopped reaching for more, whether it was creating a new high school at the age of 72 or meeting with a young couple and bringing them into our synagogue. His drive never diminished. And the 4th question, Ezehu Mechubad, who is honored, those who honor others. There were so many accomplishments here, but Rabbi Zeldin was always gracious. If you would point to something, he would say, "Yes, but none of it would have happened without," and then the litany of names would flow. He knew how to honor others. For me, this association with Rabbi Zeldin is an extraordinary honor. I am humbled. I very much appreciate it. It's a little out of my comfort zone because you have to know, every day that I drive up here, I feel honored. Every class I teach, and certainly every time I stand on this pulpit, I can't tell you how seriously I take this podium and the work that I do here. So if you'll indulge me with a few thank yous, they're 15 years overdue. To our board of directors, you are an extraordinary, supportive, and appreciative group. Thank you for this honor and for supporting our temple and our schools. To Steve Fishman, our outgoing president, what a gift you have been to this congregation the last couple of years. And to Jeanine Kolodny, our incoming president, I am certain you will lead us with equal thoughtfulness and great grace. To our congregants, you are why we are here, and you love our temple, and you love our schools. And for rabbis and cantors to know that and to feel appreciated is worth everything. And speaking of rabbis and cantors, to Rabbi Yoshi, a heartfelt thank you. This is an exceedingly exciting time to be at Stephen Wise, and you deserve a heap of credit for all of that. And to be your partner among so many other partners in this endeavor, I don't have the words to tell you how grateful I am to you for that. To my more recent colleagues, to Rabbi Noble, Rabbi Laufer, Cantor Lutz, how fortunate I am to have such talented and thoughtful clergy alongside. A special appreciation to Rabbi Hersher. I saw you when you walked in. To Rabbi Hersher, you brought me here, you supported me. I will always remain grateful to you for that. And to Matuka Benjamin, who was unable to be here tonight, who taught me so much and did so much for this magnificent place. To Rabbi Stern and to Cantor Lamb, colleagues who have been with me, we've worked together since the day I walked into this place. You are trusted colleagues. We've shared so many good times. I turn to you both for counsel all the time. How fortunate I am, how blessed I am to have colleagues like you in my life. You mean the world to me. To the men and women who work here every day as teachers, as maintenance men and women in administration, thank you. And finally, more personally, to my family, to my children, Josh and Daniel, you know how I feel about you. You know how I love that you love Judaism. I know that you know that I love you for your love of Israel. And mostly, I'm really proud that you graduated 6th grade here. That, graduates of Y School and a Milken, that's a big thing. Rabbi Yoshi mentioned my father, Sam, of blessed memory. My dad lost his parents. Some of you know, but most of you wouldn't. I don't speak about it very often. My dad lost his parents in the Holocaust and 4 of his 5 siblings in the Holocaust, and he spent his teenage years in Dora, in Buchenwald, and in Bergen-Belsen, where he was liberated on April 15th, 1945. My father experienced the unimaginable and never lost faith, and I know that he would have found this evening to be equally unimaginable because it's an experience of unimaginable joy. To my mom, you are remarkable. You are absolutely remarkable. She is also a graduate of Melton, and she was the commencement speaker. Pretty good. Your love is unparalleled. I hit the mom and dad jackpot. It is a privilege to be your son. And I know I disappointed you. Forgive me for not becoming a senator. But turns out Judaism is my calling. And to Beverly, my wonderful wife, my dedicated partner, who manages to balance motherhood, a very serious professional schedule, and who always has understood that there are times when I need to be here and need to be with you, and I have to tell you, and this is the absolute honest truth, she has never said anything but how much she appreciates our temple and values so many of you as our friends. And finally, one last thank you to God for bringing everyone I just spoke of into my life, and honestly, for everything else. Traditionally, one recites the Shehechianu for the first time on any given year that something has happened. For example, the first night of Hanukkah, or if there's a seasonal fruit or vegetable that you're enjoying for the first time, you say a prayer of gratitude to God for bringing you to that moment. But it seems to me at this season in my life, 29th year I'm beginning as a rabbi, so I figure with your permission I'm about halfway through. At this season in my life, it seems appropriate me to recite that prayer of gratitude. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. And if I may, as Rabbi Zeldin would often conclude his sermons, thank you for listening. Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to say a little blessing. Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Thank you.
We're going to invite Rabbi Noble to join us, Cantor Lamb. Unfortunately, Rabbi Laufer fell sick today, and so she's not with us. And Cantor Lutz is celebrating a simcha of a dear friend, but they're here with us in spirit. And with them as colleagues, we're pleased and honored to be able to offer a special prayer for you. Please turn to page 92. Page 92, we're going to offer a Kaddish to Rabbanan. We'll invite everybody to read with us. We think of Rabbi Woznica, we think of Rabbi Zeldin, and all of our teachers who give meaning to our lives. Please join with us. God of heaven and earth, grant abundant peace to our people,
Israel, and
and their rabbis, to our teachers and their disciples, and to all who engage in the study of Torah here and everywhere. Let there be for them, for us all, grace, love, and compassion, a full life,
ample sustenance,
and salvation from God. And let us respond.
Amen. For
For
us
us and all Israel, may the blessing of peace and the promise of life come true. Let us respond. Amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us and on all Israel and on all the world. And let us respond.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
We're going to offer an additional blessing, not just to our teachers, but to the leaders who make the life of this congregation possible. So I want to invite all of the members of our board of directors, our executive committee, to please come onto the bima so your clergy can offer you a special Misha Berach in thanks for your leadership, in thanks for everything you do for our congregation, in thanks for everything that you do for the Jewish people. Everyone in this room owes you a debt of gratitude because it's because of your tireless work on behalf of this synagogue and our schools, the committees that you're a part of, whether it's in finance or governance or membership or our schools. You work truly tirelessly on behalf of this congregation, and we couldn't be prouder to be your partners, and we couldn't be more grateful or thankful to you. We offer you this special Misha Berach from our tradition.
Ach beracha, beracha v'hatzlacha, b'chol ma'asei yedeihem, im kol Yisrael, Yisrael acheihem, v'nomar amen. V'yishlach bracha, bracha v'hatzlacha, b'chol ma'asei yedeihem, im kol Yisrael, Yisrael acheihem, v'nomar amen.
May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, bless all of you for all of the work of your hands, the work of your heart, the countless hours that you devote to your congregation on behalf of this synagogue and on behalf of Am Yisrael, the Jewish people, on behalf of the people of Los Angeles, the people of our nation. We are so grateful to you, and we wish that you will go from strength to strength, from Chayil el Chayil, with all Israel, V'nomar, and let us say together, Amen. We conclude with a priestly benediction. May these words from Parashat Naso that we read just 2 weeks ago in our annual cycle, may these words touch you and your families and our entire community. May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yihoneka.
May God be kind and gracious to you as you are kind and gracious to us.
Yisrael Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
And through your service, may God grant you the gift of wholeness, the gift of peace, the gift you share with this community, the gift of shalom.
Yasem lecha shalom.
invite you all to please rise, and we'll raise a glass of grape juice, I think, maybe wine. Rabbi Woznica, can you help us, please? Let's invite the board to stay right up here. We hope that you can stay up here, or you can go back down, whatever you like. We're going to make Kiddush, and we're going to celebrate this moment and all of the joyous moments of our lives. Everyone, please rise if you're able, and join Cantor with these words of Kiddush. You can find them on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei beri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu, b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu. זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל שבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים. Remain standing, please, for Aleinu L'Shabeach. Aleinu L'Shabeach Ladon HaKol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל
Be seated. Page 292. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction he learned the law of God, and in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as, in their higher moments, they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. If you're suffering a recent loss, if you're in a period of Shiva or Shloshim, please rise now. If you have suffered a loss in the last 12 months, please rise. And if this evening marks the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the loss of a loved one, please rise. We all rise together in solidarity with our mourners as we join together on page 294 with words of Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, Be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'gala u'vizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens make peace for us here on earth, for us and for all Israel and for all humanity. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated. It's an honor to invite a member of our board of directors, Karen Freeman, to share a few words of welcome and tell you about some exciting and upcoming events in the life of our congregation. Thank you, Karen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Karen Freeman, and I am a member of the board of directors here. And it is my honor, actually, on behalf of the board, to thank you all for being here tonight, and to thank our incredible clergy for this amazing and beautifully heartfelt service, and to also say Mazel Tov to Rabbi David Woznica for assuming the Zeldin chair. Makes us proud. A funny thing happened on the way to services tonight. My son Joey told me that it is National Best Friends Day. This is something you know if you're on Facebook and social media. But I thought that was very telling and actually so relevant because tonight, later we're going to be honoring two of my best friends. We're saying goodbye. Well, not goodbye. We're saying thank you to Steve Fishman as our outgoing wonderful, incredible president of the board of directors. And we're saying hello to another very best friend, Janine Kolodny, who will be assuming the role of president of our board of directors. And I'm just so very proud of both of them. Now on to the announcements. Join us next Friday, June 15th, as we have our Soulful Shabbat service. Register in advance for dinner at 6:30, and the service will be at 8 o'clock. This is a very one-of-a-kind musical service. Many of you come, many of you know, but it really is something very special, and I hope that everyone here will attend. Also on Saturday, June 30th, our own Rabbi Stern will be taking some of us on a hike, and this is at Will Rogers State Park. You don't have to be a good hiker. You can be a novice like me. Oh, pretty good hiker, okay. Just bring good shoes, boots, something to drink and some snacks, and I'm sure it will be a beautiful Shabbat morning. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom. We're going to conclude our service on page 321, and then immediately after services, we're going to go out into the circle. We have a wonderful oneg in honor of Rabbi Woznica, so please come and nosh a little bit. If you haven't had dinner yet, I suggest you start with dessert, because that's definitely the way to do it. Cantor, are you with me or are you against me?
Oh, I'm with you.
Okay, 321, what melody of Adon Olam did you choose in honor of Rabbi Woznica? Is it one from North Hollywood, or is it from Rhodes, or maybe Poland?
R-H-O-D-E-S, Rhodes. We're going to do this because you lived in New York for a while. We're going to do the Brooklyn version. How's that?
Brooklyn version.
But you didn't live in Brooklyn.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Adon Olam V'Asa V'Chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam Adon Olam Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Leit Nasa,
V'chefso kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך תורה,
Adon Olam,
והוא היה, והוא הווה,
והוא יהיה בתפארה. Adon Olam,
אדון עולם,
Adon Olam,
אשר מלך,
Asher Malach,
בטרם כל, יציר נברא,
Yitzir Nivra, Leit Nasa, V'chefso kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
בידו עבדי רוחי,
הייתי שם בעירה אדון עולם, ועם רוחי גביעתי, אדון אני ולא אירא. אדון עולם,
אדון עולם,
אדון עולם,
אשר מלך,
אשר מלך,
בטרם כל, יציר נברא, לעת נשא,
לעת נשא,
וחפצו
וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם. Rabbi Noble has gotten his gloves on. He's ready to slice this challah. Let's do it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Join us for an oneg.